And howdy, fellers.
We are here, and it's Tuesday.
It's Tuesday. It's 5:30 Central. Live from the workbench. I'm going to give a warning up front. This is not going to be PG rated. Just so y'all know. Be forewarned. So. But how you doing there, Mr. Dad Random?
Doing good. I've had a chance to be away from the grind for a while and grind in a different way. So that's been, and I'm headed home. So we're almost home. So I'm almost California. Home. Yeah, I'm gonna be heading home. It's just gonna, instead of taking 1,600 miles of flying, it's gonna be about 2,500 miles of flying to get home. Because I got to go to the left coast and then come back. But hopefully we'll get her knocked out, and I'll be home on Thursday. That's what my goal is, to be home.
Be home by Thursday.
Yep, and then the home grind starts because I got a whole crap load of stuff going on there.
Well, that's when you pick up the honeydew list.
No, that's when I pick up. That's when I pick up I get my laundry done, and then 4th of July hits, so we have a party for 4th to the 4th, and then right after the 4th, I got to jump back in the car and got another couple of 12-hour drives. So I'm headed to Idaho for a while.
You gonna be the hoe in Idaho?
I'm gonna be in Idaho. Gonna go to Coeur d'Alene for a while.
He's gonna put hoe back in Idaho.
Too many places. It should be nice. It should be a little bit cooler, I'm guessing, there, and
should be.
Yeah, we'll see it.
And let's say hello to the folks in the chat real quick. We got Brent, Eat More Possum, Chris, Sunrise Water Media, Dustin, One Vision Ariel, and those two that don't know, it's Dustin's birthday today, so happy birthday, Dustin. And we have TJ Who? And
you're welcome.
We got East Coast Thrills and Yellow Rose. Gotta change my name to the one-eyed drone pilot, at least for today and tomorrow. Okay. Well, he had cataract surgery, so. I would have made a good story up, like, hit myself was a prop an eyeball or something. What do I know? But anyhow, what are you doing with
I
up there?
Was up setting up some things today. Do what? I was getting ready to set some things up today, and then my dad comes running in and he says, "Hey, you got to get down here," and they were starting to tear down one of his dad's barns. So I had to quick throw the drone in the air, and it didn't happen. I think it's going to happen tomorrow morning. So we'll see. Yeah, I either might get it or I might not get it, depending on if it's. Yeah, I've been flying a lot, but just not doing anything video related. I've been taking a lot of photos.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
So lots and lots of.
Yep, and he locked up. Come on back.
Am I back? There we go.
Now you are. That's what happens when you're on smoke set.
Just like I'm looking at. I'm looking at
I'm getting your audio better than your video at this point.
yeah. Yeah, it could be bad. I'm doing everything I can, man.
Yeah, well, I know.
It is what it is. I might not be able to hang with you.
Well, before we get too far off subject here, let's address the elephant in the room. For those that have slept on a rock or just not had a chance to turn on YouTube yet today, we have a new ish camera. And there she is, the Insta360 Go 3. An update of this little guy. Well, this is actually the Peanut, so. But Go 2 and Peanut is pretty much the same thing, except for the little red button here.
Yeah, an update, or is it an update?
I call it an update. Sorry, I just can't get there with that. Okay, physically, it's a little bit bigger in size, a little bit wider in size, a little heftier, probably because they have put a bigger battery in it.
That's probably where
Which has,
the extra weight comes from.
that's the extra weight, and it has a rated or whatever 45-minute runtime on the small unit by itself. You hook it to this accessory. Yeah, let's scroll through here. Okay, you hook it to that case, and you get allegedly get 170 minutes. Now we know usually those ratings are grossly overrated. So it remains to be seen.
I do like their accessorizing. I mean, basically, it's an Instago 2 with the cooler with the screen,
Yeah,
which acts as a remote. So it's
yeah,
kind of
I like
nifty.
that. I like the little flip screen, but you know, the
It's
thing of it
nifty.
is the thing of it is this thing is supposed to record video, and I mean, this recorded in 2.5K. The new one is 2.7K. I'm severely disappointed that that thing is not 4K.
That they still haven't. Yeah, that was the first thing when I was looking at all of the reviews. That was the first thing that I was listening for is what is the resolution? What does it do? Um,
Well,
you know,
I didn't watch all the reviews out there. I flat don't have time for that. But
well, yeah,
that seemed to be something that wasn't mentioned too readily. Where's the specs? Let's get back to tech now. Here we go. Video resolution 2.7K, 30 frames per second. Or this thing is still 2.5K, but 50 frames a second. So, do we really have an upgrade there?
no, it's a
No.
very slight upgrade. It's like an iPhone 13 and an iPhone 14. I mean,
And then, if you look in the video on the second row, here's the 2.5K or the 1440p, which is 2560 by 1440. That's the 2.5. So the 2.7 comes from your lines of resolution vertically. So there's your. It does have
I like the
50
magnetic
frames per
nature of it.
second on the 2.5K. Excuse me, I didn't hear you.
I like the magnetic aspect of it. I do like the dock, but the camera's still the same thing. You know, you're basically buying a reaccessorized Instago 3 or Insta 2. And you're buying, so you're buying accessories.
Yeah.
At 379. They're still
Well,
selling the Instago.
379 is the 32 gig. You get to the
Right.
128 gig, and that thing is $450 or $430.
And that's the other thing is that, with one thing they could do is they could, in the dock allow for a, like the Action 2 of DJI, you can throw a card in it, but you can't do that.
Yeah, no, you can't do that. And so what's the 128? You get it's $430. But even, you'll never fill up the 128 gig with the amount of power you got in the battery.
Right. So,
well, you can if you have it in a big case, but I mean, most of us, I mean, we're supposed to be a drone show, I guess. So looking at it, just flying the small unit by itself, I just can't get there.
yeah, you're going to pay upwards of $500.
Not was an Action 2 coming out at $299 now. That does record 4K.
And it's magnetic and all the other things this one does.
Yeah.
Stick it on a drone. So I think it is kind of neat. I mean, I've taken the Instago and put it on and walk through a store. I mean, it is kind of fun that way. But the first version, which I think you got like 30-second clips or something like that. But the companies are basically, I mean, technology is kind of where it's at. So it's all about reinventing the wheel. Same thing with the drone community. It's the same thing. It's taking good technology and then just repackaging it. If you want to have a segue to get into an Air 3 discussion, there you go.
Are we going to talk about the Air 3 too? I guess we need to, huh?
Well, there's a few. I had things to talk about. I was actually thinking about doing a live stream. I just didn't have time to do it. There's plenty of information out there to speculate and to discuss what's coming. Also there was also
the one thing we do know about the Air 3 comes with a new controller.
Right.
Because now we have the N2, whatever the N2 is. And I saw a price release in euros. So who knows how that translates into dollars?
$1,200.
But yeah, let's stick with this Go 3. Yeah, obviously none of your Go 2 accessories are gonna fit on a Go 3 or vice versa. They changed just the dimensions. They just changed them enough to where nothing will work anymore. So I'm not a friend of the whole just magnetic mount, but that's because I do FPV stuff, and FPV stuff we need to have a bit more than a magnet to hold stuff into place.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're gonna have to put it into something that protects it.
yeah.
Unless you want to do the old Hail Mary and hope. And the 2.5K that technology has been around for 4 years. I mean, the Instago came out I think almost 4 years ago, and it's only gotten we've only been given two
But
more.
didn't the Go one didn't the Go one only record in 1080?
Yeah, it was 1080, right? But it was but it you could you could you know stabilize the footage.
I mean, this thing at 2.7K weighs the same as a DJI Action 2. So I guess it comes down to preference, which picture like better, and what software you can use to manipulate it after the fact. You know. So I don't see anything here that I'm getting too excited about. Eat More Possum mentioned it in the chat here. Maybe CADX can come up with a Peanut 2 version of that thing. I doubt it. I think CADX pretty much bowed out of that whole thing. I mean, you can't get anything for the Peanut through CADX anymore. All that stuff is gone. You might be able to pick up some old new stock off of AliExpress or someplace like that, but I haven't seen too much. I kind of been poking around a little bit about the thing. I see Akirasho got here while we were yapping. Who else came in the mist? I need to say hello to. Nope.
I still think that there's a place for that. I mean, it's an easy camera to operate. It's easy to stick on a drone. It's not heavy. I mean, there's a lot of great advantages to strapping one of those things on your FPV. You can stabilize the footage. You just, if you got extra couple $100 to spend and you want a simple way of getting footage, that's a great place to go. It's low and its cross section is pretty low. You've got all that, you've got those things. And it does basically have a bike. It basically has a bike package. So, it has a chest strap and all that stuff. But the Action 2 is still better. It's a better camera. You get a lot of accessories with it, and it's pretty damn cheap right now.
Yeah. Well, the bike package was the 128 is what $519. Yowza.
Yeah, it's expensive. There's a few things that I want to buy.
I think I'm gonna stick with this guy for now.
I think you can. I think as to get really good footage, you can. There's a couple of cameras that are not very popular right now and that are getting not used as much, and that's the Action 3 and the Action 2.
Yep.
And you're going to get great footage. So, but you're going to be putting it.
They're easy to pick up on the secondary market right now. There's a lot of them for sale.
Right. There's a lot of drones you can pick up on the secondary market. The market's just flooded with stuff to buy. I mean, if you want to get into droning.
There's the segue into our next topic too. Because there's a lot of people screaming at top of their head right now about our favorite subject, remote ID. Brrr. So,
yep.
Let's take that out of the equation for now, because Um,
So where do you want to go with this one, Kai?
where do I want
You're
to go
breathing
with this
heavy.
one? If I got to listen to one more guy throwing the temper tantrum about remote ID, I'm just going to freaking scream. I may have unsubscribed from a number of channels this week because I am sick and tired of listening to these guys whine about remote ID and how much bullshit it is. Who the hell kicked off this hype train? Jeez, people. I mean,
I won't do a video on it. I won't. I
it's
2 years ago I went and got my 107, and I'm gonna live with the freaking consequences of if I want to sit around and fight the power and make flying not enjoyable. I'm working my way in. I'm just gonna.
yeah. Well, there's
And if it
and and
goes,
and there's really two sides of the remote ID right now. There's the guys the FPV crowd that say F remote ID, I ain't doing that, whatever. Your choice. I mean, nobody can make you do anything. Your choice. And then you got the 107 people that do the holier than thee and oh yeah and fact and this and that and
yeah, that's annoying as shit too.
come on. We don't need the school teacher approach either.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's that. There's no. Let me tell you something that's more annoying than somebody that's whining about it. Somebody that's proselytizing it. I mean, both of those people can go freaking jump off a freaking bridge for all I give a shit. I'm so sick of that.
Just because you have a
It's
107
it's
license doesn't
polarizing and bullcrap.
yeah, just because you have a 107 certification doesn't make you a superior drone operator. You have no
Yeah,
more pull.
a superior being.
Yeah, you have no more pull than anyone else. There's some of us that chose not to get this 107 certification yet. And to be honest, I don't have one. And that's why you don't see a whole lot of flight footage on my channel. I kind of need to get one, but life's getting in the way of things, and that's my story. I'm sticking to it, even though my girlfriend is riding my behind about getting on the ball about it, and she's right,
Just
and
going and getting it done.
I need to get it done. Yes.
Yeah.
And
I was in the
sound like
studying
you
and
already
testing
heard
mode.
me scream. Don't even go there. If y'all think Sunrise is in a rare mood today, it's because you need to watch this video from earlier today. Him standing on his head for half an hour or however long it was. You know, all that extra blood flow to the brain has him going a little loopy right now. So, oh, Michael, Texas Art Strong guy. Howdy, feller. But yeah, no, we have the 107 guys that seem to think they own the drone market, and we have the rebels without a cause that just fly FPV and say the hell with everything. And it comes down to everybody needs to figure out what they're going to do about it. I know XJet released a number of videos on the subject. I'll leave it up to you to go watch them. Just It's a mess. I give you that. It's a mess. But this mess has been coming on signing the law 2 years ago. So to start screaming now, year and a half after the fact, almost 2 years after the fact, is a little late. I mean, you are way late to the party at this point. So, yeah, bot grinder. Okay, there's the other phenomena that goes with this, and that's the big FPV channels that make a pretty good living doing FPV stuff and doing reviews and what have you. And they are screaming the loudest right now because they got the most to lose on this thing. One big channel hoped to make his backyard a freer. That didn't happen. You know, the solution to this whole problem, I already have a solution. I already know how we're going to deal with this. You know, all these malls throughout America that are just sitting empty right now, be primo indoor flying space for the FPV community. We'll just go into the malls, we fly inside the malls, and the FAA can kiss our shiny hiney. So
it'd be challenging.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense to.
I think they should be in the early morning when everybody's taking their walks.
If you're gonna if you going to review something like that as a 107 pilot, you have to have, under the rules, you have to have a remote ID module on it. Now this thing weighs empty. Let's see. Get the dealer scale out here. Come on.
The remote IDs are getting small. And
this thing weighs empty 36 grams. So if I need to put a 16-gram module on this thing, that costs more than this thing by itself, there's not much sense in there. I mean, it's going to fly like a turd. So, yeah.
Well, it's really not. It's really not meant to be flying high anyway. It's meant to be a 50-foot backyard. You know, exactly. And that's where eat more possum flying indoors. That's not an answer either. It'll keep more people flying. I mean, flying places where they can, I would say stay under the radar, literally under the radar. That's the key. That's the key to life. So if you want to just keep flying and you don't want anybody to mess with you, fly under the radar. Okay. Fly somewhere where nobody's going to mess with you, where you don't have to worry about, neighbors and
the future reviews. The future reviews of quads like this is going to be, they're going to show you the quad, they're going to ramble off the specs, and I'm going to tell you, yeah, it's going to fly. It flies pretty good, but I can't show you any footage because I can't get a remote ID module on this thing.
No, they won't.
Indoor space to test it.
I don't agree, Kai. This is how they're going to do it. Hey, check this out. This is a great drone. This is awesome. Here's all the specs and everything. Here's my buddy Mike's review footage. Okay, here's his flying. Check it out. Look at this. And then he's going to fly his own drone. He's going to have, it's not my footage. I'm basically using somebody else's footage. Okay,
but somebody else would have to have a module on it because the video is ultimately to further business.
Who's to say when the flight happened?
Yeah, but you can't
use it. I could say this was some random footage that was shared to me by a person that possesses this drone. You're not going to have an investigation. Somebody's not going to go, hey, where are you getting all your footage?
I think on September 17th, we all need to call the FAA and report the shit out of each other and just completely flood the FAA with complaints.
Just everybody
Just
report
completely flood the FAA with complaints. Make them unplug their telephones.
Well, my intention of flying is not to further a business, because anything I do with a drone does anything but further my business. What it does is it costs me a crap load of money and I don't make anything. So furthering a business is definitely my defense, because I've never furthered my business any further than more than what it costs me to stay in the hobby. So there you go. Show me somebody that's furthering their business that doesn't have a 107 and isn't like doing roof inspections where you actually can make money. And if you're a real estate photographer and you don't have a 107, then you're a dumbass.
You see Sunrise comment there? But that's what it's going to come down to. They're going to make this have the same scrutiny as a Boeing
Right.
747 or 787 or 777 Supermax, whatever the hell you want. I'm more
Okay.
fluent on Airbus models because I have
Hey,
family that built.
Kai.
Yep.
Was the guy that got sucked into that turbofan the other day, was he wearing a module?
Yeah, but that didn't help. No, we actually had a fatality here at the airport where one of the ground crew gets sucked into the engine.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's horrible.
That's a bad
That's the
day at the
worst.
office.
That's the worst freaking accident.
You know, but it's a freaking talent of our society right now. Because I'm going to talk on this for a second. So this incident happened, and no, of course it came to attention of news, and this was a Delta subcontractor. So Delta releases a statement saying, our hearts and prayers go with the family and his friends and all that. Airport comes out with a similar statement. And then the company actually worked for comes out with a statement that starts out like that, but then has this extra paragraph that came from the lawyers. But this incident has nothing to do with our safety procedures. This is not to blame on us. I mean, right off the gate, the guy hadn't even been collected back up yet entirely. I don't know if they can entirely collect them up again or pick them out of an engine. I don't know how bad, but
right.
regardless, for the company to come out right out the gate and say, oh, yeah, it's not our fault. I mean, and I get it. They have to protect themselves, but yeah. But yeah, that happened.
Lawyer up. Nope. Yeah, I don't want to hear any more people going, oh yeah, in UK they're going to be given fines for having a drone, and they've got to make little tiny fines for this and that, and for holding a drone in the wrong part of of a park without flying it, and they're going to have a fine for flying above 10 feet, and a fine for flying next to people's animals, and a fine next to you for. It's over when it comes to that.
And Chuck is honoring us with his present. Howdy, Chuck. Kovacian. Well,
If
I
it's
mean, this happened about 2 months ago in Alabama too. And the thing is, so when airplanes taxi around the tarmac, they do it on their left engine. They shut down all but the left engine. And there was a lady at that airport, ground crew too, that stepped in front of that engine, got sucked right in. So it's not uncommon. It does happen.
aircraft carriers, it's usually
And we
it's
got
usually
Chris
propeller
Hope.
blades. There, it's propeller blades.
Chris Hope, driving and listening. You be careful out there, Chris. There's a bunch of crazy people out there.
Yeah, now that we've talked about the remote ID thing, let's not anymore.
That's not anymore.
It's such a crappy subject. There's just nothing positive about it. It doesn't make you
Yeah.
feel good. It doesn't like nobody. Does anybody want to hear remote ID discussions?
Oh, come on now. We can go whining and crying about it. I mean, it's too freaking late.
I'm worn out. Somebody
I
said it's
mean,
white.
the ship has sailed. Thing is in place.
Akaricio said it best. White noise.
What the hell you trying to imply there, Sunrise?
Ugh. Yeah, spinning props are bad.
Yeah, spinning props. Sunrise should know all about spinning props and being bad. Didn't he recently stick a finger in the prop?
Akaricio told a joke.
Yeah, it was a disaster, all right.
a disaster. Horrible. Horrible. Does anybody want a Mini 4?
Oh, you know it's coming. 6K resolution.
Shit.
And according to DJI, the reason the Mavic, the Mini 3 Pro has remote ID on it is because it's intended for the 107 pilots, and they have to have remote ID regardless of weight. I kind of get that out of exchange on, what was that? I think it was on Facebook. No, it wasn't on Facebook. It was on YouTube, where DJI responded to XJet. So what are we looking at here? Are you trying to show
I
something
just
off?
opened up the frog picture.
The frog picture?
Yeah, the frog picture.
Did you see the one where the frog
Hopefully it
swallowed
can
a
load up here in
firefly?
the next 10 minutes. Oh yeah. Hopefully it'll show up here. I haven't seen it yet. Oh man. I hate my freaking internet.
Yeah, no, there's
Here,
a
let's do
video
this.
going around.
Let's do that.
There's a video going around was a frog that swallowed a firefly, and firefly still lights up inside the frog a couple, 3 times before it, finally goes off altogether.
Uh-huh.
Call it the ultimate gesture of defiance. Light them up a couple of times before you have to go. Oh, what do we have here now? All right.
It's the frog. It's the more realistic frog.
It's just the Mini 4 SE.
I don't know what it says in there besides it just saying Mini 4. I don't. I'd have to. There's something maybe next to that right there, but it's so garbled it's hard to tell. It's basically, you see the back, how rounded it is right there. They just made it look more like a frog. And the camera looks the same. That looks like the same camera, the flippy camera.
The Air 3 photo was the moving arms or elevated arms, whatever you want to call it. Yeah,
that's
somebody had a little too much fun with Photoshop on that one.
That's bull crap. That ain't happening.
Can remote ID be disabled on the Mini 3? No, it cannot. By definition, remote ID is not cannot be disabled by the operator.
Okay, you knuckleheads that think this is real, right here. This is what we're talking about.
Yep.
That
is the Inspire 4.5.
That is not the Air 3. And there's no way you could do a articulating wing with something that's that small and light without serious weight issues, and it's just a waste of weight.
Well, that is the Inspire 4.5.
Yeah, that's the bullshit 1.2.
The Gold Wing edition.
Yeah. People actually discussed that. They were like saying, "Oh wow, it's gonna have ring. It's like the." I'm like, "Oh my god, we have gotten to be so bad."
And Jim Stronning made it in. Let's see. No point to upgrade. Mini 3 Pro is great as is. Mavic 3 works great or something.
This is the real.
I'm just completely content with my Air 2S. I have no reason to upgrade from that thing. I got the Air 2S was the RC Pro. I was hoping that maybe the goggle feature be enabled with the Air 2S, but that ain't happening. But that's okay. I'd done get rid of the freaking goggles anyway. And whoever hadn't watched it yet, Matt Tech released a video yesterday, I believe, of all the different foams available for the goggles 2 Integra, whatever you want to call it, and found out that the white version from iFlight is actually the better fit for him. The B version that I was advocating for, he says, puts his eyeballs too far out from the goggle and messes up his experience. So he is cruising on the A option of the iFlight foams. What do we have here?
This is the front of the Air 3, the camera, which is if you can see enough of it, it's a double camera system.
Aren't they shooting themselves in the foot was a dual camera system, or they're not wanting to sell the Mavic 3 Classic anymore?
I don't know if this is going to be exactly. That's a killer of that. You got a telephoto lens and a little bit of maybe just that combination has got really popular. I really have a lot of fun with the two lenses, and you don't even need the third lens. What they should have done was have made the original Mini, or excuse me, the original Mavic 3. If they'd have put those two cameras on, the 24 and the 77 millimeter, it makes for like the perfect freaking drone for shooting pictures. But that looks like something like that they're trying to get it close, but with a different resolution. But who knows? Who knows? It's all speculation. It's all fun, but
Chuck, I'd be interested to hear your opinions on the soft fit foam from DJI. But for myself, I'm going to stick with the Walksnail stuff because the cost of the DJI O3 air units is too much for my taste. But I did build something this weekend. Where is it? May I introduce my
oh yeah, the
interpretation?
builds. You got some bunch of builds.
My
You got a bunch of
interpretation.
builds.
My interpretation of the iFlight IH3, whatever you want to call it. So this is Walksnail HD Pro. So we got the new transmitter back here. Single antenna. I've got the new Flywoo M10
Show it up close.
GPS.
Show it up close. Make me small.
And yeah, what is going on here now? Do that.
Go ahead and make it big.
There we go. All right.
There we go.
So, got the Flywoo M10, got a Radio Master ELRS receiver in there, sitting right on top of the VRX. I've got a Flywoo all-in-one flight controller in that thing. That's the 722. And the advantage of the 722 is both the receiver and the GPS are powered off of the USB connection. So I can just take a USB power bank and plug it in here and give enough power to the receiver and the GPS unit to where I can acquire a GPS signal before powering up the unit.
Which is super nice. Makes for a much better GPS experience when you don't have to sit around waiting.
I got there's an XT30 connector right in the front that actually comes with the frame kit. And then under there, you have the spark arrestor. And no, I did add a capacitor in there. This is running on T-motor, 1604 motors, and this is a 6S Bird.
It's just overweight, right?
It's 285 grams with the battery.
Yeah. That's a nice. That's a nice little build. That thing's a screamer. You want to see my build? I did a build.
You did a build?
Oh yeah. Here, let me show you my build.
Your gazebo build?
No, it's another build. It's another project. So Kai's making drones.
There's the battery I'm intending to use with it. 550 milliamp 6S battery. Regular voltage, no high voltage business. Gets me about 7 minutes flat time on this thing.
I get no minutes of flight time on what I just built.
Well, then why the hell did you build it?
Exactly. This is what I did yesterday. Come on, Kai. Just give me my 2 seconds of fame. Right there. Come on, man. You got to love that. I've been waiting 3 years to help him finish that. Knock that thing out in a day. I'm freaking dying, though. I'm out of gas, man. That's my last project, leaving town. But yeah, that was yesterday's project.
So,
Had to dig that thing out with a pick.
and another built that's coming, and this one is going to be sub 250. This is a Carnage frame from sub 250 GFPV. I bought it and I got it through CNC Drones up in Canada. So
What's the stack? What's the top of the frame look like?
Top of the frame looks like. Yeah, I guess I can make myself big again. So it's got mounting for 20 by 20 and 25 by 25 and 25 by 25 in two different directions. And then the top plate has room to either hang an air unit or a Vista or an air unit from below. Either way. I'm planning on building this with a Walksnail 1S board because of the weight savings. And yeah, awesome. I had to do something with that extra motor that I had for the long range, or the Kai 2 as you call it. You know, this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought 3 more of this too.
Oh, those Emax motors?
Yeah.
Hey, they're not too bad, man. Those spin up nice. The price was decent.
Did I get a new 3D printer? No, I still have the Artillery Sidewinder X2. Unless somebody wants to gift me the Bamboo, I see no reason to change my printer at this point. I had another printer, the small Ender 2, but I sold it. Just no need for that. I got, the Artillery does everything I wanted to do. And it prints good. It's not the fastest of the bunch, but it has a decent print quality, and that's all I need. But I did have disaster this weekend. I did have a little disaster this weekend. I burned up a motor on my beloved Shocker 4-inch. And wouldn't you know it, Diatone discontinued this freaking motor. So now I got to stick a whole new set of motors on this thing. Yay me. But it'll get a new set of motors on it and it'll fly again.
I'd say if you're going to jump on a printer deal, there's an S1, Ender 3 S1 for $200.
Jeez, where's that at? eBay?
It's the Creality store.
Creality's selling the S1 for $200.
Yeah, they knocked $100 off of it. This one says 309. The picture I saw said 209. So I don't know what happened in the translation of that one. That was maybe a little bit of a fissure, a line thrown out to me. This is the S1. No, it was like $200.
Well,
Let me see
if
I can find it again.
S1 Pro, so there's a difference.
Yeah, maybe this one's the Pro. S1 Ender series, S1 3D. Yeah, if it was $200, you'd just say, okay, jump. Let's see here. I'm looking for that this item. It says it's $100 off. Maybe it's in the when you get it in the cart. See if I can find it again. But yeah, if you can, the great thing about the Ender
down
printers
from
is
379 to 309, but I don't see it at
309.
209.
One was 300 to 200, and I'm trying to find it again because I when I clicked on the link, it went over there and freaking the price changed. So Ender 3S1. Let me see here.
Well, if I'm gonna get another printer, it'll be a resin printer. I've
Yeah,
got
this is the same one I'm looking.
I had these things printed up. This is the new front for the walk snail goggles. I still need I want these hydro dipped, and I guess I'm gonna have to do it myself because we have 3 shops in San Antonio that do hydro dipping. They're way across town, and their store hours are ridiculous. One is only open Wednesday through Friday. He only works 4 days a week.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wish I could do that.
So yeah, but yeah, I wanna spiffy this up and sand it down and hydro dip it and the carbon weave, and then put it on the front of the walk snail goggles. I think that'll look pretty damn snazzy. What is hydro dipping? Hydro dipping, you get a bath of water, and then you have these sticker sheets, if you want to call it that you lay on top of the water. And then you take your plastic piece and dip it in there, and then the sticker sheet will just lay down on your piece. So that's very and very rough strokes what hydro dipping is. Then you've got to put a couple of coats of sealer on top of it, but it'll give this thing the appearance of carbon fiber, and that's what I'm shooting for. So
Yeah, I'd like to have a full self-leveling, full-on, just a full-size bed at home. And there's so many great deals that pop up, so you just got to keep looking. I think I'd be in for about 250 bucks, somewhere in that range, 300 between that range. And that's kind of where they'll get to. The Neo models. But yeah, the resin's like a different world. That's you want to be able to do that outside, you know.
well, you have to have a garage or a shop of some type.
Yeah, you can get an Ender 3 for $199, but that's yeah. So whatever that freaking fishing expedition I went on, I just typed it in. Maybe I can find it again. Here, let me try it again. See if same one comes up. Here we go. Here are those price tags. Right there, 309, 209. I'm looking at the same one. This is the Ender 3S1. So it's not a Neo. But that's got the direct drive, right?
Has a direct drive printhead on it, so you don't have a
I'm gonna click.
stepper motor to feed it.
Yeah, that one is $209. There's a clip out coupon for $100. So it's Ender 3. And it's got the good head on it.
And we all know the importance of good head.
That's right, baby. But yeah, so that is 209, but it's the Ender 3. No, it says Ender 3 S1 3D printer. Yeah. So that is a real deal, and there's a cutout coupon. So if you want that, look for just type it in your Google search. If you're going to get the same search I got, type in Ender 3D printer. That's all I typed in, and then I just scrolled down, and then I looked at prices. I'll see if I can share the link for you guys. So, but that's a pretty good deal. $200. I mean, guys, it's $200, but still, that's got a self leveler on there. It's got a direct drive, and I believe it's what's it 200? What's the size bed that is? 280 by 280, or we see what it is. Find that there. Let me give you guys that. But yeah, it's just a nice little tool. If you're not a 3D printer and you've never done it before, it's just a nice little addition to whatever, just for your house to have, just make stuff.
Yeah.
Well, gives you a little bit of
when you build FPV quads, that thing is almost necessary, because there's so many times, hell, even with this thing here, because the 03 camera is actually 20 by 20, and this camera is 19 by 19. I had to make a little sleeve for a spacer, because right here on the side, there's these little silicone pads in there. There we go. These little silicone pads in there that dampen the camera. Well, was an extra mil. It was pulling them out of the socket they're sitting in. So, yeah. Make up little sleeves with 2 holes, so the screws go through. Takes about 7 minutes to print, and voila, you're back in business. Harley FPV, our winner of last week's goodie bag. Harley, your stuff went out on Saturday, so you shouldn't get it in the next day or two. So, anywho's, our hour is up. We made it without losing our shit.
Yeah, we avoided the big discussion that just, like I said, just gets to be a little bit painful.
Blizzard FPV, what's up, prop nuts?
So I dropped there's actually
You're breaking up.
Oh, there we go.
You can't be surfing and talking at the same time.
I can't surf and talk at the same time with this. All right, let's get a clean exit here. I was just trying to set that up, so if anybody wanted to look for that.
It's store.creality.com.
Find yourself a big deal.
Yeah. I'll throw it in the comments. So, any more words of wisdom from the frosty north?
Nope. Just get out and do some stuff, man. It's been a good summer. A little bit of smoke in the north is where I'm at. We had a little more smoke today, but just get out and fly. I've been taking pictures and taking a bunch of photographs. And I was going to show you one, but I got sidetracked with the Creality printer thing. But I've been taking lots of pictures.
You got sidetracked? You, of all people, got sidetracked? No
sidetracked. I cannot keep focus. But yep, back on the road.
All over the place.
And home by Thursday. So I'm praying for that.
Yeah, well, I wish you safe travels. Now, do not stand in front of the engine. If we haven't learned anything out this program tonight, do not stand in front of a jet engine.
Yes.
That will not end well for you.
Except even that guy that's going like this, and he's way outside of the scope of the intake of a large jet aircraft like an Airbus. A massive turbofan. Those things are humongous. Kai could stand up inside of the turbine.
And then some.
And then some, yeah.
Eat More Possum wants to know what Steve is up to in your absence.
Steve is sleeping in my bed. He is depressed, and I got to get home. And then I'm going to leave.
Steve is saying, this is all right. This lady feeds me, and she lets me sleep on a comfy bed, and she don't make me do no stupid shit.
Oh, a bunch of us are going to leave, and my kid that I'm going to pick up from California, he's going to be babysitting Steve. That's actually his true owner, the guy that picked him up on the road. Maybe they'll have a reconnection now that he's moving home. But yeah, it's been quiet. And
see, the idea with kids is once you get them out of the house, you don't let them back in. They can come visit.
Yeah.
But don't let them back in the house. They come visit, limited time offer, and then they go away, and everything is good.
Sunrise put up a link. Don't click it. It's it'll take you to an Indian store. Scam store where they're gonna friggin'. If he asks for money, that's about the only thing. Don't do. Don't give him your PayPal. Or don't wire him any PayPal money.
Oh, they did put out a thing on the news today. If you have Cash App, you might want to look at that because Cash App has a bug in their software to double charge you.
Oh boy. Hey, PayPal actually gives me 4.3% right now for just money sitting in the savings account. That's not bad. How long has it been since the bank?
Since when do you have money in a savings account? Wait a minute. When did that happen?
It was a good week in the crypto market. Last week, my freaking Litecoin freaking shares doubled in value. I just put a few in there, and it was like free money. That's all I've had time to do. Same with my phone. I'm like, I'll buy some of this, and so we're building up cash reserves. Oh man, I got to get some drone. I got to get some videos up too. I got a tablet video I need to do. I had to buy a N1 controller today. so I can fly my Mavic 3 with it.
They get money for those things?
Yeah, I think I paid $36 for it. Because I have to put a tablet in it. And I'm flying with the RC right now. So anyway. So yeah, it's supposed to be a freaking nifty tablet. It's supposed to be super high resolution, 2000 nit, something like that.
Have you done the antenna mod on your RC yet?
No. Nope, it's going to stay al natural. It does a damn good job. I've done some really challenging flying with it around here, and it's been really good. It's been very stable. So I'm not going to mess with it. I'm not going to mod it. It'd be a great. It would be a great. It's a real good controller to mod because you're going to get some good results from it. Plus, it's not super expensive. But I'm not complaining at this point.
Wouldn't do you any good anyway.
Nope. It's like complaining about RID. It's kind of like
asking. And on that note,
RID.
There, you can talk all you want about remote ID now. I fixed the problem.
You guys are welcome to stay. We'll just leave it running. Just for another half hour, just leave the credits run, and then everybody can talk about remote ID.
No, I mean, Sunrise and Jim Stroning still have a conversation going on there about who he's got blocked. You guys got that worked out now, or can we shut down the stream now? And I'm trying to be somewhat respectful. And for those that haven't done that yet, if you hit the old thumbie upper button in the bottom there, please, I appreciate it. Yeah, continue on Sean's channel. Sean is up next. Sean ID. But I'm going to see about getting some dinner put together.
And that's what I'm going to do. I'm either going to go and find something, or I'm just going to dig it out of the refrigerator. I haven't decided yet.
Well, my girlfriend got this thing from HelloFresh where you could buy the whole meal for a few dollars of shipping cost only, promotion. And she bought a box. It arrived yesterday. And it's at 10-minute prep time, 30-minute cook time. You know how long it took us to get that damn dish done?
What?
A freaking hour and a half.
And you kind of know what you're doing.
Yeah, and I was very surprised for an outfit like that to, bind the salt, the gravy was butter. That's not, your everyday kind of technique. And if you don't know what you're doing, you can screw that up real quick like. And I'm familiar with how to do it, so it was easy for me. But your average housewife, I don't know that. So
too many steps.
All right, Sunrise is leaving, so I guess we can shut down now. Any more words of wisdom there, Dad?
Nope.
Yeah, I'm done too. So again, thank you all for hanging out with us. We'll see you again next Tuesday, same time, same place. Until then, y'all take care, and thank y'all for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
See ya.